Hey guys, this is SoFlo Josh and I'm over here at South Motors BMW to check out this all-new 2022 BMW M235i. So the M235i for this generation, this is the F44. So the F44 is the front-wheel drive base. It's not the rear-wheel drive one like the G22. So since this is the front-wheel drive base, of course you get basically front-wheel drive proportions rather than the rear-wheel drive proportions. So this is the M235i. So you can get a 228i, but the M240i, the M235i comes with the 2.0 liter turbocharged, producing 300 horsepower to all wheels actually, and then you have a limited slip differential up here on the front axle. So it's pretty cool setup. Let's go ahead and start with the front end design. So with BMW, I really love with the design they went with this, especially depending on the color that you get. Of course, this beautiful white that they have is kind of like the typical Alpina white that they usually have for all of the BMW models, but overall I love the aesthetics of the way that they've done with the grille, and especially it's not a large grille, so it's a smaller grille compared to what we've seen in with the 4 Series. So luckily with the 2 Gran Coupe we have this beautiful grille design, and you have, as you can see, the diamond version of the grille instead of the regular kidney grille, and you also do have active venting in the back, so just know that that's going to actually improve with the MPG whenever you're on the highway. It helps with fuel efficiency big time. Getting over here to the lights, you do have BMW's LED lights. They are the somewhat halo style. Well, now they don't even really call them halo style, but they're full-on DRL LEDs with LED turn signals. You do have an area right here with the cerium gray finish. Really love the way this is. You do have an active air curtain over there, and you do have a full-on intercooler here as well as on the other side, and it brings in air for that intercooler. Getting into the front, you see over here you do have your whole entire safety tech over here. So that's forward collision mitigation, emergency braking, everything you need is housed into this system. 2 more ducts on either side for cooling of the brakes, which is pretty cool. I really like the way that BMW has made the non-M. Of course, it's not going to be an M version of this. Let's just get that out of the way. The M vehicles are only the rear-wheel drive vehicles, and they're not the front-wheel drive base model. So this is the highest performance that you're going to be getting for front-wheel drive models in general. But good to see that BMW has also added the black glossy black finish at the lower part of the front fascia. Really love the way they designed it, and of course you can see, you know, the grille lines, the hood lines actually. It looks very, very nice, very clean. You know, you have the nice sharp creases all around, and it fits very nice. It flows with the car in general. So getting onto the side over here, you have these beautiful rims that are finished with aluminum and as well the cerium gray finish. You do have your 4-piston front M Sport brakes. Really like the way this is, and those brakes really do help. We're going to show that in the drive whenever we go onto the rain over here, since it's raining in Florida. We do have the Bridgestone tires over here. These are, I believe, the 18-inch rims if I'm not mistaken, and I do like low like rims that are less amount of inches because of the ride. It feels a lot better, and of course, especially when you're on the track, these are going to be a lot better to use compared to, you know, a higher inch 19 or the 20s. You know, in general, me personally, I like it like that. Some people might not like that. Getting into the side profile, as you can see, very, very nice side profile. You know, you have the nice line that goes from the front fender all the way throughout to the rear, and then there's another line that actually starts around this area here and it creases upward to the fuel cap, which is really nice. And you have these nice cerium gray finishes. So the M Performance line always get the cerium gray. You could opt for a whole entire black out package that BMW has, and then over here on the side sills, as you can see, there's more gloss black along the side. Really like the overall design that they've done with it. You know, the flow that kicks up to the rear wheel arch. I really do like it. Getting into the rear now, we have the M235i badge here with a nice little subtle duct spoiler. You could get an M Performance spoiler. I believe they have one in a carbon fiber or a gloss black finish, but overall it looks really nice. As you can see, nice gloss black over here with your BMW logo. And then getting down here, you can see you have your camera system right over there. Nice little diffuser. It's nothing too crazy, nothing too outlandish. You could, of course, like I said, M performance parts. There is M performance parts for this model. You do have dual exhaust tips over here, and they're exhaust trim finishes, but they are actual real exhaust inside of there, which is a cool little thing. And now let's go ahead and look at this side over here too. You have this area here, but sadly it is not functional. Kind of wish that BMW would have done something to help with airflow over here. As you can hear, there's thunder in the background, so that's just telling you how powerful BMW is lately. Getting into the trunk area here, with this area, I kind of don't like the fact that this is a little too high for what this car is, you know, like the little part, the compartment right here. But overall, it's enough space to fit luggages, whatever you need, your grocery bags, and also you do have the little latches here for the rear seats to fold down. But overall, the size is pretty good. You do get a compartment down here. As you can see, it's pretty large compartment. Actually, you could fit probably some of your first aid kits in here. I know some people have that, and then of course you could fold it like this, and then you can also have like a little archway, and you could put things over there. So a pretty cool thing that BMW has added that. It's the same thing with the M2 and the X2 and the X1 models. But overall, really like the way that this is. Remember, this is not power tailgate. They don't have any of that. You have a little grab handle here, and then you put it down like that. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get onto the interior now, and then we'll check out how beautiful this 2 Series is. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this beautiful M235i model right here. Putting in the door handle. This is also proximity keyed, so you put your hand here, it will unlock the car. As you can see, put your hand there. Mirror is always folded inward, and then you put your hand here, it opens up the car. Now, one key thing is to think about is that this model has frameless windows, which actually gives it more of a coupe styling and feel to it compared to the other traditional sedans within this segment, which actually I think that the A3 well, the S3 and the Mercedes-Benz equivalent of this car actually does have frameless. So there's some other models that are coming in, like the Integra is coming in, that doesn't have that traditional frameless that we've known to like with the Integra. But let's get into the interior over here. Nicely done ambient lighting here. I really love the way they did this. Not just like a typical ambient lighting where it's just one pin strip that goes across here and you can see the lighting. I like this design better. It gives it more aesthetics, it gives it more differentiations towards other brands and towards other vehicles within the BMW lineup. Getting over here, nice softly touched door right here. You have your lock, unlock, you have a regular door handle that's in every single BMW. You do have a preset for your seats here. They are power operated, so luckily these are power operated. At one point BMW had to go ahead and take out the power operated for most of their models because of the chip shortages, but overall finally we have that. You have our speaker grill right here. Now this isn't the upgraded Harman Kardon, this is just the regular traditional BMW speaker grill. You do have your switch gears over here. Kind of wish they made these aluminum, but I can understand with the price segment of this vehicle in general. Nice soft padding, and you do have areas for some bottles of water, and you have the trunk opening right here. So getting into the interior, looks really nice. You also do have a basically the frame, the B pillar right here is completely tacked onto there, so it's stuck within the actual body work, and I like the way they did that. So let's get right into the interior here and shut the door. So it sounds pretty solid, not gonna lie. So getting into the interior, let's go ahead and start it up here. You do have the live cockpit, which is a $600 option. Remember, this car is around $49,000 over here. But overall, really love the aesthetics. You do have this beautiful iDrive 7 display right here. You have everything you need, your car, vehicle status, everything looks good, of course. And then get to the home. You do have Android and Apple CarPlay as standard. They are wireless, and you don't have to pay for it, which is a good thing. So like I mentioned, the digital cockpit that we see in other models, this is of course a little bit smaller, which makes sense because it is a smaller segment compared to your traditional 3 Series or the X5 interior. Nice venting systems over here. You have your auto for your headlight systems. You also get some other lighting features here. You can also dim the interior lighting if you're driving at night, and you do have the heated seats over here. That is an option with the cold climate package. Actually no, with the M235i, they actually come standard on this model, which is a good thing. You do have your presets for your music. You can also preset, for example, Apple CarPlay. You press and hold here and it'll preset that volume, your mode and band, and then your forward and back track. Over here you have a nice glove compartment, actually. Very nice lighting, LED lighting. Of course, this is a premium model. You know, it is damped and lined with felt, so it's very nice. And like I was mentioning about the ambient lighting, as you can see all across there, very, very nice. I love this design language that they have with this 2 Series Gran Coupe. Very, very nice. I love the overall aesthetics. You have your shifter here, your automatic engine start stops technology right there. Sport, comfort, and eco are the only ones, but you could, once you put into sport, you can go ahead and configure. For example, if I wanted the steering to be a little bit more lighter, I can go ahead and do that, or you can just put it into sport. Transmission and everything, you should leave that in sport, honestly. The engine feels phenomenal in here, and that 300 horsepower is perfectly equipped for this model, and I think they've done a great job. Your climate control over here, like I was mentioning, and then getting over here, you do have a little nice storage down here. Not too much lighting, actually. Let's go ahead and open up the lighting. Nice compartment right here. You know, you have a USB type C port, which is good. I like USB type C's rather than this type of version. You do also get the wireless charging, but sadly this model doesn't come with it because of the chip shortages that are going on right now within the automaking company. You do have these nice, what it feels like full-on leather, but they're actually leatherette, and they feel very, very premium, very nice, soft. You know, it's very deep in, you know, it's not too rough at all. You also have a thigh extension. Even for the driver's side, you do get also the thigh extension right here. But overall, the aesthetics of the interior feel phenomenal. I really love the overall design language of this front end. And you do have the panoramic sunroof. You could opt for no panoramic sunroof, which I would rather get, because over here, when you don't get the panoramic sunroof, you get more of a beam that goes across, and it adds more rigidity to the overall interior of the vehicle, which I would rather have than a panoramic sunroof. I think BMW honestly should offer a option to have a standard size sunroof, kind of this area, but then this area not included in it. That would be a really good idea to do. BMW, if you're listening to this, offer 2 different types of sunroofs. You have your standard one, or you have your panoramic sunroof one, which personally I would rather get the standard one and then have a cross beam across, so then the body rigidity is a lot better, especially when you're driving on the road. But let's go ahead and get into the back seats now. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the back seat. Over here, same exact door handle. You do not have the proximity thing as you do for the front handle, so you can't lock or unlock the vehicle through here, but the same exact frameless door is there. So what you get in the front is the exact same. So getting into the back over here, nice soft padding all around here. Sadly, no aluminum finish for this. I kind of wish that BMW would have done an aluminum finish for this. You have your regular door handle, and that ambient lighting from the front continues back here. Nice speaker grill over here, nice window lever right there, and you do have some areas for those bottles that the kids want to go ahead and press. So the back seat in general, kind of the opening itself, I wish it was a little bit wider, but overall it's going to be a perfect for, you know, regular people who can get in and out of cars without any issues at all. So getting into the interior of the back seat, I had to duck a little bit because I'm 6 foot tall, so not the best, but overall love the aesthetics back here. Let's go ahead and turn on these lights so we can have a little bit more lighting over here. This is typically where I would sit, so not that much, but look at this. BMW has incorporated a nice little concave here within the back seat, so I can feel very comfortable. Now sitting up tall, my head is touching the roof a little bit, actually. I have like 0.5 of an inch for headroom, but that's because also we do have the panoramic sunroof here, so that eats up into the space, as you can see with the way that they've done this back area. If you don't have the panoramic sunroof, you'd have a better area for your head, but overall not too bad. I mean, if you're sitting like just a normal person would, actually feels pretty good and feels pretty cozy back here. Not as claustrophobic because there's a big greenhouse within here, so it's not like the X2 where you kind of feel a little bit more claustrophobic in the back seat. But overall, I really like the design of this. Going and getting to this part right here, you do have your cup holders. Luckily, BMW did not tack on a cup holder style down here. I do not like those. Over here is a lot better with all the water dripping and everything like that. It's better. Now another key thing is we have air vents for this segment, which is a great thing. I like the way that, you know, BMW has decided to go ahead and do air vents for here. The new Integra doesn't even have rear air vents, sadly, but it does have the USB type C ports back here, perfect for the kids whenever you're going on long road trips, or you're going to Key Largo or Key Biscayne, anything like that. You know, they have enough amenities. Back seats feel very nice. Sadly, you can't recline it, kind of like how you could on the X2 or the X1, but that's kind of normal with a sedan format. I kind of wish that BMW would have done a lift back rather than a traditional trunk style, but overall the aesthetics and the interior, the way that this car feels in general, feels very, very premium. And I love the way these seats feel. They're nothing too hard, so they're perfect for long road trips. And of course you have that hump here for the all-wheel drive system. But getting into the middle row, let's go ahead and get into the middle row. Kind of hard with my feet. Yeah, I don't fit. I really don't fit. So if any tall people are watching this, do not sit in the middle. You are not gonna like it at all. You're gonna be hitting your head almost all the time, especially when you go over bumps with this car. And speaking of the suspension actually feels pretty good, which I'll be showing that in the drive now. But overall, I gotta say that the interior and the exterior of the 2 Series Gran Coupe is actually very, very nice. People didn't like it when it first came out because they were like, oh, it's, you know, BMWs traditionally have that rear-wheel drive chassis. Why did you do this? And I think that I have to applaud BMW. They actually did a phenomenal job with the design overall. But we're gonna find out now with the driving of this car to see if it actually is BMW. All right, so now that we're inside the BMW M235i, we're gonna go ahead and take it out for a drive. As you can see, it's raining over here in South Florida, which is typical South Florida weather. It's one time it's raining, one time it's actually sunny, or bipolar where it just randomly rains when it's sun out. So let's go ahead and take it onto the drive, put it into drive. Over here is very simple. I love the gear shifter itself. Like I mentioned when I was doing the walk around, you can shift it into manual or sport manual. Very nice. And you have sport buttons with the comfort, eco as well. You can also put it, I think, in sport plus individual, configure individual, and you could change the steering, the engine, and the transmission. But we're gonna go ahead and put it into comfort now to go ahead and take it out for a drive. Of course, the one thing I really don't like is this. Never like that. Go ahead and take it out for a drive. So taking it out, of course, this is the exact same 2.0 liter turbo that we see in the BMW X2, and as well as the Mini Cooper, a GP3. So the GP3 also has this exact same engine with the exact same ASIN 8-speed automatic transmission. This is specifically tuned for BMW, so it's not the same transmission that we find in the Camry, as I mentioned in the walk around, but it's a great transmission. It feels very, very responsive, especially when you push it down. And remember, this is the M235i, so since it's the M235i, you have that 302 horsepower to all 4 wheels. Unlike the 228i, you have to get an option to go ahead and get the all-wheel drive system. So I'm gonna go ahead and take, I'm gonna break it right here and then put it into sport. And I'm gonna go ahead and give it some throttle, put it into sport manual, and then give it some input. You see that all-wheel drive system feels fantastic in here. You have the amount of confidence that you need when it comes to this transmission as well as this car, because it's a very nimble car. It's not something that you can be afraid about when you go into a rear-wheel drive car. You can go ahead and drive it, you know, crazy, a little bit wild. You see, perfect traction. Remember, this all-wheel drive system is the X drive, so it is front-wheel drive base. And remember, that limited slip differential is in the front of the wheel, so of course it's going to help with that traction up front when it needs it. But of course the all-wheel drive system will kick in when it also needs to be kicked in. So if you're going around a sharp corner and it's a little bit raining, don't push it too hard, but you at least know that that all-wheel drive system will go ahead and kick on when you're going around corners. But overall, I really love the way that this car feels. Like, it's super, super nimble. Even though it's the exact same chassis as the X2 and the X1, I feel like this is actually tuned a lot better, and it doesn't feel SUV like. It feels very, very sedan like. And that's what I really like about the M235i and the 2 Series in general. But of course I haven't driven the 228i, so I wouldn't really know exactly how it feels with that front wheel drive without the limited slip differential, but I'm sure that it feels very, very different. Not the exact same as what this feels. And then, you know, you of course you put it in comfort mode and you can drive normally, and as you can see, or you can hear, that is thunder. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it here, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting more. I might be doing the BMW iX coming next week, as the dealership has gotten a demo. And of course my genius over here, Rafael. And make sure to go to South Motors BMW. Huge thank you to them for allowing me to do the review of the M235i, even in this weather. It's a huge thanks, and especially you guys get to see how this all-wheel drive system feels within this environment. But with that being said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.